Hey everybody, welcome back to Mission Accomplished. I'm Mike.
I'm Matt.
And today we're going to review Picard Episode 4.
Yeah.
Another polished turd, if you will. It wasn't too bad, but it wasn't great either.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk too much, but because of my voice. But, yeah, it's just like the Patrick Stewart. I mean, he's the reason to watch this.
Yeah, he's hamming it up. He's
Space
chewing up the
Dad.
scenery, as we said.
I mean, nothing happens in this episode.
Well, we get two characters. We get two new crew members.
Yeah.
One during the show. There's a flashback at the beginning of 14 years ago, blah, blah, blah. And then he's on this planet, whatever. I forget what the name is.
Yeah.
Some random planet with some nuns and some little boy. And,
that was Vashti.
Was it? Okay. Yeah, Vashti. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And, so...
It's a Romulan resettlement camp.
That's
a refugee camp.
Yeah, thank you.
So
it ends up, we're introduced to this little kid and this older nun, and then we find out that's the day that Picard finds out that the synths have rebelled on Mars and they attacked, and
the support that he had thought he had
mm-hmm.
from Starfleet was evaporating because of what had just happened.
Yeah. So there's that. Then we come to present day. They're on the ship. Blah blah blah. We're going to Vashti. All the crew's arguing about it because I thought Picard knew what kind of planet it was now. Pretty much it's fallen to warlords and petty criminals. Big deal. Okay. So,
standard sci-fi trope, power vacuum
mm-hmm.
idea.
Yeah. So he lands, and we end up meeting those other people, and that we just met at the very beginning. It's just like, you could pretty much call him a Ronin, a samurai, something like that. That's what their outfit looks like. That's what his hair looks like.
Yep. I was calling him Elrond.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that too.
I mean, his name was so close to it. And
it's Elnor, right?
Yeah,
it's Elnor.
And he's got the long black flowing hair, and he looks like an elf because he's Romulan.
What do they call him? A Coot?
Oh my god.
Koalantake or something. I don't know. We're going to put it up on the screen right now. I'll spell it out, but I'm not going to...
That was one thing I noticed in this particular episode. There was a lot of,
random ass names that no one cares about?
Yeah. And they were thrown out there like you're supposed to know, and this is supposed to catch you, and it just doesn't.
Yeah, I mean... maybe for hardcore fans, they might know a lot about this, but for the average viewer, it's just like, oh, more crap to remember.
To me, it's too fast, and there's no connection to it, at least yet.
Yeah.
That's
another thing. The Soji plot is so... You said it was forced. I'm going to speak for you because you have a bad voice right now. He's got a cold, but he still wants to review, so we're going to do it. So at one point they're like... flying through. They're in bed. Who cares? Whatever. Yeah. Pouty facing each other, and then you made the comment that she never closes her mouth.
Never.
It's very.
She always has this little pout.
But she'll something. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's
it
weird.
makes me think she has a stuffed up nose.
Really?
Because it's she's got to breathe through her mouth.
Yeah. All right. So. They're flying through this. Not flying. I'm sorry. They're sliding barefoot through this hallway that's like slick on the bottom.
Yeah, it was like
spinning. It was like a soap opera.
It was like Frozen.
Yeah, but I mean, the production quality in that moment, it was just it was like dry ice.
Yeah,
it was some dry ice,
some lights,
and some a couple of laser lights that went down, up and down like this.
Very
weird,
Felt like you fell into a high school show,
like a music, And then they flirt with each other, and they finally because the whole thing is she's like, you don't wear an insignia, you don't have a uniform, who are you?
Right.
Are you this? Are you the Tal Shiar or whatever the hell the name is?
Tal Shiar.
Sorry, whatever. Yeah, who cares? Like I said, too many names, way too many names. And he's like, no. And she's like, would you have to say that if you were? And he was like, yes.
Yeah.
So
they had that circular conversation. It's just pointless. It's
just a reason for her to get upset with him. And she's like, I can't deal with that.
Oh, dude,
and then later,
she flips the switch in like a second. Or she's like one second she's sliding down the hallway, laughing and dancing with him, and the next second she's like, "I'm done with this," you know, like because he doesn't want to reveal who he is. And, you know, I get that in the sense of like he's hiding something from her, but it was just so forced. There's very like I don't get much chemistry from them. That pairing. The scenes are just mellow.
They're kind of duddy. I got to be honest. They're kind of like their characters at this point are just kind of like duds.
Yeah.
There's no reason. Like I hope that something happens further down the line that makes me be like, okay, I tolerated their existence in this universe for a reason. You know, they're not just like. Also, I want to throw out there that I like. Again, I feel like Girardi is just like hanging in the background, snooping around. Just always talking to people, always asking questions.
At least she was funny this episode.
At the very beginning, she was. Yes,
she got a couple of zingers in.
Yeah, but that's the thing. She's supposed to be awkward.
Yeah.
Girardi,
like the comments she makes are like unfiltered. You know, like they're right off the top of her head. So it comes off as the delivery is a little bit too casual for somebody that's supposed to be like socially awkward, but the comments are somebody that doesn't have that filter that you would acquire through social interaction. Yeah,
because they're talking about the existential dread of being conscious of death.
My God, that book again, right?
Yeah, The Tragic Sense of Life. So, if anybody is going through an existential crisis, make sure you watch Picard because that's probably what the show is trying to represent.
The coolest thing in this episode, there's a scene where Picard is reading Three Musketeers to little Elrond, Elnor, and I'm sitting there thinking like the scene was whatever, but like for that little kid, like he's one of the most legendary actors is sitting there reading from one of the most legendary books, and it's recorded for like ever, you know, like you get to hang out with Space Dad and he read you a bedtime story, like. You know,
we're still calling him Space Dad. I agree. Like it's gonna be, it was pretty interesting scene, like where he was doing that.
It was cute.
Yeah,
it was cute. It was very, you know.
But he was snarky. He was all snarky. Oh, here's an important thing that we find out: the whole this whole order of assassin nuns, as Raffi calls it, they only will pledge themselves to a lost cause.
Yeah, and like. They had a name for a person that bound themselves to a cause, and it's called. Like, again,
Walanaki or something, Anunnaku or I don't know, Anunnaki,
whatever.
Some crazy YouTube name.
They say it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, and then
and they say this other Q name like 3 or 4 times, and it just goes by.
Yeah.
They don't make it any type of impactful for you. The interactions between like. I feel like anytime Patrick Stewart's in the scene, the show is just much better.
Yeah.
It's just, I wish they would just like stick with him.
He's the best actor on the show. Although, I will say that I think...
There's sometimes where it seems like he walks
I think that Rios is the second best actor on the show, considering that he's had to play like 7 characters already. Yeah. And each one of those characters have been distinct enough and... so he's got... the Scottish accent guy. He's got himself.
Right.
Who's just kind of gruff, I guess, American. He's got the Scottish guy that he did. He's got the hospitality program that was like, it wasn't English, but it was something. It wasn't American either, I don't think.
It was like I would say it was like a very scholarly American.
Yeah.
Like somebody that like grew up inside of an Ivy League school.
Okay, yeah. And then his weapons program, which is a long version of him that just, I guess, like speaks Spanish.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, all right, I'm liking this guy already.
Yeah, they're all holograms based on parts of his personality almost. You know, like a more refined personality, a rougher personality. It's silly, but it's fun. There is some silliness to the show that's just you know, it seems like parts of it they're just like whatever, you know, not like whatever, like meaning like they don't care. It's just like they're gonna produce the show, they're gonna do this scene, and it might come off as silly, but it's Star Trek and have some fun.
Yeah,
you know.
The one thing I do want to point out is that like it's not lost on me that this tragic sense of life book, which is again about the existential dread that one feels being conscious of death,
impending death,
impending death, is exactly what Picard is feeling right now.
Yes, it's
like it's not lost on us that that's what this whole thing is. Like,
you get the metaphor.
Yeah, you know,
they
like
kind of beat you over the head with that metaphor. I think last episode.
Yeah, well, they didn't say what the book was about.
I know,
because they were probably hoping enough people were googling it that it become a hashtag or something. I don't know.
Probably.
Like, but well, you know what? That's not necessarily true. I'm thinking that this is a live show that's like on like at a certain time. That's what they do for those shows. Never mind. Wrong social media. Wrong social media strategy.
Yeah. I just like I still don't get a sense of the identity of this show. Is it a space adventure? Because that's the Picard part.
Okay, space adventure, like it's like an RPG. This is starting to remind me of Mass Effect 1, where he went to planet to or this whatever Shepard that you made, whether you played as the normal one, either the plug-in, you know, boy or girl version, or you made your own. It doesn't matter. But you'd go from planet to planet to planet, and the first couple of planets you went to, like your starting planet, you got a companion or two, and then probably two, and then each planet after that, you either got one or two companions until you had like a party of like 8 or 9 people.
Okay.
Which is what, so we've got Picard, we've got Rios, we've got Girardi, we've got Rafi, we've got the Elnor, and then now we've got 7 of 9.
Mm-hmm.
Am I missing anybody?
Yeah.
Well, are the 2 people who are still at home, but they're not there yet? But
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. They might show up later. So that's 5, but 7. And I'm assuming they're going to have a couple of other people.
Yeah. It's building the crew.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just taking certain things I feel like are rushed through.
Yeah.
Like the relationship with Daj. Because
Mm-hmm.
really, like, that was like the inciting incident. And you got it for, what, half an episode?
Well, yeah, but you know, it's really about Data, I guess.
I know,
you know,
but, like,
yeah, I know. I hear what you're saying. I hear
know,
what you're saying.
If she's not murdered in front of him, he might not. You know, he wouldn't have gotten out of his chair. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the like again, like the stuff with Soji is just, it's
kind of painful to sit through.
Yeah.
Maybe if we saw more Borg, maybe if we saw more.
Yeah.
Like more of those scenes where they were taking them apart or something, or she's talking to them or something. I don't know. It's just boring when it's her and Narek. It's just boring. I don't give a crap.
Like the relationship is just weird. It's not. It's very like. It progressed very fast, but then it regressed, and now they're in this like, and you don't get the sense of any like, them progressing as a couple or them, you know. It's just unclear, like, and that's what makes it, and then it's melodramatic because, you know, it seems like their facial expressions are overdone, like, the whole sliding down the hallway thing is just like redundant, like you didn't need that. It would have been better to just have a 15-second dialogue scene with them where they actually like expose some of their inner thoughts, you know. It's just, I feel like it's just like, it was like filler. It was just a filler episode. A
filler episode bookended with
7 to 9 popping.
Yeah, Eleanor joining, or even though Eleanor joins it's like
it's cool
3/4 of the way through, and then 7 to the 9 at the very end.
Yeah,
because she comes. That's another thing. She comes out of nowhere. She's a Deus Ex Machina, really, because they get attacked.
They're trying to save another ship that's falling towards the. The planetary shield. Right?
That helped them take out a bird of prey or whatever it was.
Right, whatever.
I don't know. All right, I'm going to say mission meh for this episode.
Yeah, I'm there too. Mission meh.
It's not mission failed. It was pretty. No. Some guy gets decapitated at one point. I didn't know they had green blood, but now I do.
That was
cool.
We see some fighting, you know, from Elnor. You know, you see Picard fight for like
a second, he throws it down.
Yeah. Talk about throwing it down.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's just meh. It's hard to want to continue to watch this show because I feel like every bright spot, which is generally when Patrick Stewart's on the screen, is then undercut by like a low spot almost immediately after, where like once Picard's off screen, they cut to Soji Narek storyline, and it's just either awkward where Narek's with his sister, and like that's just again just weird. And then Narek and Soji, there's no chemistry and there's no background to the relationship.
Yeah. I did like the production value of this new planet they went to, Vashti or whatever. I enjoyed, like, the production value of the show is high. Like, at the very beginning of the show, when Girardi's talking to Rios, like, you mentioned you'd mentioned the background. Because it's, like, flashing by.
Yeah.
And, like, I didn't know if, like, I didn't find it annoying.
It bothered me, actually.
Like, I liked it. But then, what I did find annoying was, like, out of nowhere, there's, like, lens flare.
Yeah.
And it's like, the camera didn't move, she didn't move, nothing outside moved, their perspective didn't move. Why is there lens flare?
It was a little too fast and a little too bright for me as a background. I
liked when it flashed, when it was, something was going, and it flashed real quick. I don't know, I just enjoyed the space travel. It reminded me of, like, I don't know if I've ever actually seen it like that.
No, I don't think.
You know what I mean?
I don't think I've ever seen it like that. It almost felt like she was at, like, the nose of the ship, or, like, the boundary is breaking, whatever boundary that is, the space travel.
Yeah.
It was very, like, psychedelic kind of.
It looked blue, and it looks blue in whatchamacallit, in Next Generation, if I recall. Could be wrong.
Yeah.
But so you think this mission may as well?
Yeah.
All right. So
I mean, I figure, like, to me, like, this show really needs to pick up in the next episode, or I don't see how it's going to really sustain any viewership, you know. And I know, didn't they already plan season 2? Or
yeah, season 2. I'm pretty sure is all. Oh yeah, it's all. We mentioned last episode, I think, that it's already greenlit.
Yeah. So I mean, are they just sandbagging now, like slowing down to like fill in these gaps? Or are they just falling into that network mentality where, like, now we have more time, so let's fill in, you know, random things. And when, you know, what we see from the popularity of streaming services is that you don't get a lot of that filler. I mean, there still is filler episodes in streaming service shows, but, you know, you don't get 8 of them, you know. So yeah, mission meh.
All right. So I agree with you. So I guess it's going to be it for this episode of Mission Accomplished. So I'm Mike.
I'm Matt.
Thanks for tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff below. And we'll catch you next time. Peace out.
See ya.